What is Scooby? And welcome back to After the Snap. I'm your host, Tasha Pierce, and it is Friday, and there's been some films. So I guess that means it's Film Review Friday. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had a change of plans. I thought I was going to do Bruise today. I announced that on Wednesday at the midweek meltdown, and I forgot that this movie was coming out. There was a movie that's a little bit more new because I guess Bruce has been out for a couple of weeks, and I made a decision that week of what movie I was going to review, and it wasn't Bruised. So this week we've got a new movie that's come out, and it is it's actually starring one of I wouldn't call him an up and coming, rising, more appreciated. He's becoming a more appreciated actor, and I'm like, when I see him starring in something, I get interested. Then it also had another Academy Award winning actress in it. So I'm like, well, shoot, it don't get much better than that. You're gonna have an Academy Award winning actress. You got uh, a Academy Award, I think, nominated actor. So I'm like, shoot, can't beat it. So instead of beating around the bush while I'm sitting over here playing with buttons, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm doing. Instead of just beating around the bush with it, I'm going to tell you that the movie that we are going to be reviewing today is Encounter. And Encounter is it's a sci-fi thriller type movie. Let me see. I got a comment. Hey Davina, hey Mr. Brown, how's it going? What it do to you guys today? So yeah, I don't know how many of you guys checked out the rebroadcast of the midweek, and I said I was going to do Bruise and a woman's prerogative to change her mind. I changed my mind. I'm doing Encounter today. I was going to do West Side Story, but you guys, the y'all in the chat, y'all know I had a struggle with leaving the house. I couldn't do it. So there's that. And I hope I get over it by next week because I gotta go to that movie. I have to go to that movie. But anywho, let's jump this thing off. Tell you about the movie that I watched, Encounter. It is starring Reese Ahmed. I think it's Riz Ahmed. I always like to call him Reese. I don't know why. I think it's because I had a boyfriend named or little dude I used to deal with. Kind of, little dude I used to deal with, Reese. But anyway, his name is Riz Ahmed. And Riz Ahmed is like up and coming, uh, an actor to watch. I ain't gonna call him up and coming, an actor to watch. It also, uh, it also starred Octavia Spencer. Then it had the children who were playing Riz Ahmed's children in this movie, Lucian River Shahan and Aditya Gadada. And I know I'm butchering names, but I didn't I didn't even listen to the translate to see how to translate it right. So I'm off my square completely this week. But I'm getting better. I am getting better. So yeah, when I saw this, well, I saw Riz Ahmed, and first let's just say, uh, he's fine, very easy to look at, very handsome man, and then Octavia Spencer is like, it's a shoe in. When you tell me that she in the movie, I gotta see what she gonna do. This movie, well, it was directed by Michael Pierce, spelled differently than this Pierce, and it was written by Joe Barton and also Michael Pierce. Now, I'm gonna say that this movie was shot very well. Opening sequence is gonna blow you out the water. The opening, cinematography. You will get. We'll get more into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So this thing had a limited theatrical release. It came out December 3rd in theaters, and then it went to Amazon Prime Video on December 10th, which is today. I watched that thing this morning. Has a runtime of 1 hour and 48 minutes. Yeah, so not too long, and it actually could have been shorter. Now I know I say that a lot. There are some movies that you really don't feel like you're sitting still for a long time. I think this movie, I didn't feel like I was sitting still for a long time. I felt like I was sitting still longer than I needed to. Yeah, you remember him from Rogue One clearance. Yeah. I didn't see the OA. He is an absolutely phenomenal actor, though. He is, and easy, very easy on the eyes. Now, the synopsis for this movie is that a decorated Marine goes on a rescue mission to save his two sons from a mysterious threat. As their journey takes them in increasingly dangerous directions, the boys will need to leave their childhoods behind. So this is kind of uh, this movie is not what it seems. And I after I watched it, I thought to myself, self, how are you going to talk about this movie without spoiling it? So I have to be really, really keep this thing really tight as I'm talking about it. I will give a critique. The critique is not going to push you guys in the wrong direction if you do choose to watch this on Amazon Prime Video. But the to just describe things about this movie, it's very difficult without giving things away, but we do have the synopsis, and the synopsis sounds pretty straightforward. A decorated Marine, that is Riz Ahmed, goes on a rescue mission to save his two young sons from a mysterious threat. And as their journey takes them in increasingly dangerous directions, the boys will need to leave their childhoods behind. So the boys in question are probably, I would say, ages 10 and 6, with Lucian River Shahan. He's the older child, Jay, and then the younger child is named, oh gosh, I lost his name. Now what I gotta go to let me go over to IMDb real quick and figure out what his name. I lost his name in this scattered brain of mine because I thought because these two young men, these little boys, man, when I tell you they really did a fantastic job. Their performances were what I consider very eye catching. Put it like that. They're gonna catch your eye. These young boys, besides the fact that they might curse a little bit, Jay and Bobby, that's their names. So the youngest one is Bobby, the older one is Jay. They're about 10 and 6 years old, respectively. And and yeah, these kids did an absolutely fantastic job. There were parts in this movie that in other movies that we have watched, and I'm not saying just on Film Review Fridays. We pretty much, I think, those of us that are here that are active in the chat right now, we have TV shows that we have watched or movies that we have watched, and the child actors can be downright creepy because they give these kids sometimes an adult personality, and these kids sometimes in movies they think things through like grown-ups do, and we know that that's not all the time. It is not realistic. These children put on a realistic portrayal of some kids who started off in the place that kids are supposed to be, and over the course of this 1 hour and 48 minutes, we start to see some maturity, and it's because of the situations that they are finding themselves in with their father, who is doing everything he can to protect them. Um, Octavia Spencer is playing a law enforcement. She's not a police officer, but she does work in law enforcement. So Octavia Spencer has a relationship with the Riz Ahmed character, whose name is Malik Khan. She has a relationship with him, and with him trying or attempting to do what he thinks is best as far as moving his children as far away from this threat as he can, she is trying to keep him grounded because of their relationship. While I'm talking about Octavia Spencer, while I'm talking about her, um, she's very underutilized in this movie. Like when you see Octavia Spencer's name in the credits, you expect for them to give her an adequate amount to do. She didn't have a lot to do in this movie. Um, she could have been any. I could have played the role that she's playing. It could have been any actress. Now, because it was Octavia Spencer, she gave you something to feel in this role. But as far as her, an actress of her caliber being a necessity for this role, no, anybody could have played this role. So I was a little disappointed at the underutilization of Octavia Spencer, but we got an awful lot of time with Riz Ahmed's character along with the two kids, and their performances were top notch. Unfortunately, the screenplay wasn't that good, meaning we get some emotional performances out of these characters, out of these actors. The dialogue just does not seem to go along with it. Now, when I said there was a phenomenal opening opening scene that we saw that was kind of telling you what this story was about. And if you were paying attention, so if you watch it, pay attention to the beginning of the pay attention to that opening scene. First of all, it's gonna be hard not to pay attention to it because that it was shot so well. It was so beautifully done. And that was the highlight of, there was good, serviceable cinematography. It's just a movie. But that opening, they definitely opened with an absolutely stunning visuals that they open with. All right. So I've pretty much told you what I could tell you without killing this movie as far as the plot. We do see these boys again get thrust in some situations that is far above their age level, their maturity level. And we see them eventually get to the point where it is not as jarring to them, but these kids definitely put on a show for us. They put on a show. I was very impressed with the kids acting. They said a few curse words, and I was like, okay, maybe not in my house. I couldn't cuss in front of my father. I was 48 and couldn't cuss in front of my father. I didn't even smoke cigarettes. Like my daddy didn't realize I smoked cigarettes until I was like, I had been smoking probably for 10 years. So this is the type of respect that I'm used to. I don't allow my son to curse around me. It ain't allowing anymore. He's an adult. Because he never was able to curse around me, he doesn't curse around me now. That's just so these little kids saying a couple of little cuss words kind of like it kind of made my skin crawl, kind of made me want to pluck their lips. But it's part of the movie. It's part of the movie. Um, this movie looks like one thing when it starts. By the time it ends, it's something else entirely. It is something. Boy, there is a threat. This man is trying to. This man does feel like he's doing the right thing. These children are in harm's way. So that part of it is pretty straightforward. I'm not saying nothing else because I can see myself getting ready to stick my foot in it. So let's just go. Let's just go to let's see, Rotten Tomatoes. Now, You gotta see these numbers. 50, 56 to 56. And it was lower than that when I watched it earlier this morning. So I've learned that I need to set this tile up a little later, because from the moment I watched it, it's one thing, but then by the time we come on and I'm talking about it, it's something else entirely. Um, it's not pretty much, it's not liked. More people like it than hate it. But it's teetering real close to nobody liking this movie. Like half of the audience is pretty much saying no, no for this movie. And that's because of like the twist that I was telling you. It's this movie starts off as one thing, ends up something else, and a lot of people, as I read through reviews after watching it, a lot of people was pretty pissed off about that. So there's that. Um, but they had me at sci-fi thriller, and sci-fi mystery and thriller is how uh, Rotten Tomatoes is describing it. Sci-fi mystery and thriller. I think we can make a case for all three of those things being true, and the fact that I have to make a case for all three of those things being true tells you why some of the other audience members were not happy with the movie. Now, I don't think this movie is winning any awards, even though I could be lying, because it's up for awards like British Independent Film Awards, I think. So it's up for awards in other countries. I don't think we're gonna see this show up when we start talking about awards as we're moving closer to award season, or like being stuck smack dab in the middle of award season. I don't think we're going to hear about this movie, about these performances, about any of it. The director, we're not going to hear anything about this movie. But do I think this movie is as bad as these Rotten Tomato scores make it out to be? I don't think it is. I think once you realize where this thing starts to go, you just take the movie for what it is. You accept it for what it is. It's nothing like, again, nothing phenomenal, nothing that great. It's a pretty average movie. And like, if you ask me, and none of my stars are showing up here, that's weird. Well, how did that happen? um I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Because I mean, you can see that. I guess you can see that the first three squares are yellow because they were supposed to be shaded in. I don't know how that happened, but anywho, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, um, because of the performances that I spoke of at the top when I was talking about Riz Ahmed. You really, really, uh, you see the I don't want to call it desperation. It's not desperation. You see how how connected he is to his children, and how he thinks that the best place and safest place these kids are through the safest place these kids are through this threat is with him. That's how he feels. So I get it. And the kids, absolutely. I guess most of my energy is for them children, because first of all, they were cute little kids. Second of all, they really did a hell of a job. Uh, Especially the older of the two did a hell of a job making taking me from this is a 10-year-old, just an average 10-year-old, to now he has become world wise in the course of this 1 hour 48-minute movie, and the span of time that it was uh that the kids, I mean, that they were with their father. uh yeah, so D, you said it's generous of me to give them 3 out of 5. I'm telling you, if you watch the movie, the children, make it worth the 3 stars. The children do. I'm blown away by child actors who are really child actors, except for that cursing that kind of bothered me. But I mean, all the kids do it too. It's Stranger Things, all these shows, the little kids curse. So I should be used to it. I am not. But yeah. So because this was such a quick review, yeah, D say you're gonna watch it. Let me know if you guys plan to watch it, and then let's talk real quick about next week's movie, because if I can get out of the house, y'all know what next week's movie is, and I'm definitely trying to get myself together. Kaz 3200 asks, it sounds like I enjoyed it more than the Rotten Tomatoes score. How much faith do I put in that score? So now I I liked it. Yes, I liked it more than the Rotten Tomatoes scores would indicate. But I'm also, because of the twist that I talked about, I also can say that I got over that twist pretty quickly. It didn't get under my skin. But to people who that really bothered, I can understand why their score is that low. I can understand uh why, if I had to go thumbs up or thumbs down, and I was hanging my hat on what I thought I was watching, then I would feel misled. But to me, I was just like, once I'm in, I'm in. I'm gonna watch this movie through. The children's performances were engaging enough that I say, hey, it was not a waste of an hour and 48 minutes for me. Uh Davina asks, when am I going to get to Bruised? I wanted to know what you thought about that movie. About the money? About the money or the movie? If you wanted to know what I thought about Bruce, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. The reason why, because I made a choice when that movie first came out of what I was going to review that week. And now it's like it's been out for 2 weeks. Everybody's reviewed it. If you want me to do a special review for Bruised, I will. It will just be, I'll watch the movie and then I'll come in after I watched it, and we can do a quick live stream just like this one and talk about the movie Bruised. There's another movie, uh the un the Unforgivable, I think the name of the movie was Unforgivable, with Sandra Bullock and Viola Davis. That's another movie that just is not going to make, this week it was Encounter, because you know how I am about sci-fi mysteries and thrillers. I love them. So I did Encounter, but I still believe that Bruised and Unforgivable both deserve a review. They deserve us to talk about it a little bit, and I think I will definitely get to that. We just not going to put a date on it, because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Um, what else? Next week's movie, we know what that one is. It's the Spider-Man No Way Home, which means I got to really get my anxiety under control so I can leave the house so that I can go see the movie. Um I'm excited about that. But did you guys know that, like, Sony was doing a thing where they were giving and I don't know if Clarence is still here, NFT. And I know Clarence is more techie. You know all the latest tech. So if you know what a non-fungible token is, let me know, because Sony were given non-fungible tokens to the first 86,000 uh, A-list members who bought tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home. And well, you know what? Anybody, because I forgot we got Cast 3200 in here, and I don't know if you know what an NFT is. Anybody, Oh, there you go. I know nothing about NFTs other than it seems a way to take more money I don't have from my nerd wallet. Well, see, I don't know what it is either, but Sony was giving away 86,000, or Sony and AMC partnered to give away to the first 86,000 AMC A-list members who bought tickets a Spider-Man No Way Home non-fungible token. So I'm like, oh, well, that sounds, that sounds good. Then Clarence says it's just a ledger to give value to virtual items. You meant a token. Think certificate of authenticity. Okay. Um, I don't know how any of that works. I don't know how it works. Because oh, it's a mint. You mint it. I get what you're saying. Think certificate of authenticity. So, long story short, I got one. So I was one of the first 86,000 AMC A-list members to buy a ticket. So I got one coming to me as long as I don't refund my ticket. So that's even more of an incentive for me to get my life together so I can, you know, I could go out into the world. It's a collectible item, Davina. Thank you guys. Thank you. So I know that it takes a lot of money from your nerd wallet from Cass. Clarence gave me the exact type of definition that I thought I would get from Clarence. Clarence says sort of like the first 100 people to own the new Porsche or something. So, okay, I got this non-fungible token. I am first 86,000 people. I thought that was so weird for how long it took me to get my ticket. Because of those of you who followed along with me as I was trying to purchase my ticket, Davina was on the phone with me. We was literally up to 4 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to get that ticket, or it was like I was up to 4. I think I got the ticket around 3:30 or something. Uh Kaz, are you just like me? Kaz says if I still went out and watched movies in theaters, no Way Home would be one that did it. I can get out the house, and I can tell you one of the ways, because I've just got anxiety. So one of the ways that then it's hard for me to get out the house is just the anxiety. But what makes it easier, and I'm going to tell everybody a little secret, is if I get like a little tiny bit high, like not like meth high, like cannabis, just THC. But when I want to be completely in my right mind when I go, to I don't want to eat buckets and buckets of popcorn and be looking for the next snack. I want to be paying attention. I want to be dialed into this movie. It did take a very long time to get tickets though. So Cass, you just learned something from me about me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because if anything is bad if you abuse it, as long as you don't abuse it. But it took a long time. When I was getting the tickets, I was getting so frustrated. The fact that I had somebody to talk to, but I was so frustrated. I would get so close and then it would kick me back out. I could not. I just couldn't get the ticket, but I got it. I got it. Uh Claire said he hasn't gotten his ticket yet, but you hope you can find one. See, the thing is, it's because I was trying to go first day. I'm pretty sure we can find tickets now probably. You might be able to find some tickets, but it won't be for that first screening of the first day. And that was important to me because I wanted to be home. Okay, the first screening on the first day is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I can get there 3 o'clock in the afternoon, be done, be back home by 6 o'clock. And I missed the big crowd coming. That's first and foremost. So I don't have to deal with the bigger crowd. And I can start working on my review and make sure that I have everything that I need lined up to do the review and to make sure that I hit points without spoiling. So I have to do my review and then go back over it to make sure I'm not spoiling shit. Because I want you guys to enjoy Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, Kaz was talking to me still about the anxiety thing. Apart from my general social anxiety, people are so rude in theaters these days. It takes me out of the experience. I'm sorry you have those experiences. Now, that's one thing I can say about this AMC that's close to me is that I have probably had one bad experience. And it was some people, now you're purchasing your tickets ahead of time. You have your seat. I've got a favorite seat. So I choose the same seat almost every single time. If it's available, I choose E8 or E9. Yeah, I want one of those because it's almost like sitting like right in the middle. So anyhow, you didn't ask me that, but I have a favorite seat. And I know that I buy my tickets with that seat if they're available. I went to the movies and there were some people in E8 and E9. Now, I had only chose one of them. I can't remember which. And I told them, I believe that you're sitting in my seat. And they was like, no, these are our seats. And I'm like, okay. So now I step out to the aisle with my popcorn on my shit, big heavy purse, all this stuff I got. And I look at my phone and I'm like, that is definitely my seat. So, instead of getting into it and having an argument and all this stuff, I was like, excuse me, I'd like to speak to the manager. And the manager came and straightened things out, gave me some popcorn for my inconvenience. I don't know what those people's deal was. They knew that wasn't their seat because you would have had the mistaken two seats. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I look, I saw this. I'm trying to go in order, but Cass, I saw your comment saying I earned your forever follow, saying that you had a preferred seat. I absolutely do. and and it's different for different theaters. Like I know that if this thing is playing at theater 6, I need to be sitting in E8 or 9. But that if it's playing in like theater 4, it's a smaller theater, and they usually save those for like those art house type films. I want D6, I mean D8 or 9. D gets me as far up in the middle as I can be. Anyhow, I know y'all ain't asked me that, but yeah, right. I ain't know you was in this thing. What's up? Davina says, yeah, I thought something was wrong when you called so late. Yeah, something was wrong. My crazy ass is up. I saw that you was up liking stuff on Facebook. So I'm like, shoot, if she can like stuff on Facebook, she can get me through this trying to get a ticket. I literally, and you still didn't get your ticket either, D. D, when you was looking online that day, oh, you were looking, you said that one was sold out. You sure did. Never mind. So now, yeah, I knew that if I want first day, first screening, I have to be up at 11 o'clock because they said it was going to be midnight on the East Coast. And because I am in Texas, I'm like, okay, so if it's going to be midnight there, it's going to be 11 here. I started at 11 o'clock trying to get a ticket. I moved from 11, 12, 1, 2, 3:45 before I got a ticket. Reinhardt, you just got your ticket. What screening are you going to? Are you on the first day as well? Because I know that because of the sensitive nature of this movie, that I kind of need to wait for everybody to see it. I think I can tell you guys, like, give you a what I thought. I do not want to ruin anything, and I know how excited I can get. So yeah, I just know that Friday, next week Friday, it's gonna be Spider-Man No Way Home in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just uh what did it live up to the hype? That type of review. Now, I have got a theory. Yeah, you're right, Clarence. Do a non-spoiler first. Got to strike while the iron is hot. You are 100% correct. But I really want to chop it up with you guys with as far as the the spoiler version of it too. Um, Ka- Kaz said, "I love talking movies so much. I've kind of accepted I'm going to get spoilers by my own fault, not going to theaters. That is very hard. You walking on a very slippery slope, Kaz. When you don't get to go into the movies and then you're still trying to navigate around the landmines, the minefield that is social media and everybody, and like Reinhardt was saying to me on Twitter the other day, why is it that people are starting to put these big dumb spoilers on their thumbnails? I don't know if y'all heard that. That was weird. Yeah, but they're starting to put their big stupid spoilers on their thumbnails, and I'm like, is that intentional? Like, why are you doing that shit? So yeah, it is. It's like walking it's like navigating a minefield, Cass. You got to be real careful when you when you haven't yet seen the movie. I want to put. I don't know if because I know Reinhardt follows me on Twitter. I don't know. I had to put it in the atmosphere though. I got a feeling, just and this could just be me, and but I got, if I'm right, I want to be on record as of saying it. Because I love being right. I love being right. So, um, Green Goblin in Spider-Man No Way Home, we have seen we everybody saw the previews or the trailers, the little TV spots, and we also saw the little picture, the little image that came out with him without the mask on. And I'm about to, I guess I can let's see. I'm going to try to open this up so you guys can see it. And I'm trying to see, like, open. I'm trying to bring it up so you guys can see it, if you haven't already seen it. Because I got problems. I mean, besides the problems that y'all know I have, like being crazy, that problem, okay. But I've got another problem. And the other problem I have is uh that this does not look, this picture, it don't look like, it doesn't look up to Marvel's standards of doing a de-aging. And look at how good uh Doc Ock looks like. Oh, this is the first time you've seen Green Goblin, Cass? Well, I hope that wasn't something you was avoiding, because now I just did with the very thing that I talk about other people for doing. I might have spoiled it. But this picture just doesn't, it just doesn't look up to Marvel's high standards. And I'm wondering if Willem Dafoe being in this movie is a misdirect. If this is not, this Green Goblin is not Willem Dafoe. Perhaps this Green Goblin, with this all ripped up with the hoodie on, perhaps this Green Goblin is Ned. Because you know that there's a case for Ned being Green Goblin. And I thought I had saw uh in the past where Ned had dropped a tremendous, not Ned, Jacob Batalon, the guy that plays Ned, had dropped a tremendous amount of weight at one time. So I don't know. I'm going to let's see. What does Clarence has to say? I saw an interview with him saying that this iteration of the Goblin is super crazy. I saw the same interview, but and I wish I would have had that staged up, because I didn't know that I didn't know the gang was going to be all here where we could just really do this. uh, yeah, I saw that interview and he looked so out of place. He looked like he really didn't know why he was there. I I think they might be pulling a fast one on us. I really do. Let's see what Reinhardt says. Yeah, the whole thing about people putting spoilers in thumbnails. I know the competition is fierce and everybody wants to get their review out first, but even one of my favorite review channels did. A few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, New Rockstars did it. And New Rockstars to me has for some years now has been a gold standard in how to handle doing not getting caught up in all of the clickbaity stuff. I thought that they were very good at not doing the whole clickbait shit. And I still think so. I don't know if I don't know if that was just an anomaly or if they've got somebody else doing their graphics for them. Whatever the case, it was something that was unsettling. I don't know if there are others doing it too, because I am now uh navigating like I'm on a minefield because I don't want spoilers. And there are so many people who have oh, we got set pictures and we got this. It's one thing to speculate and we can be right or wrong, and it's all in fun. It's something entirely different to legitimately spoil a movie for people before they have an opportunity to see it. And yes, Reinhardt, I 100% agree that that is a dick move on behalf of those channels. Thank you, Cass, for saying that that thought was a good one. I just wanted to make sure that somebody else heard it. Oh, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about Hawkeye. I won't do that here, not today. But my son and I went down some rabbit holes after watching this last episode, and we formulated some theories that I have not yet heard anybody else come up with. So I hope that you guys join me on Stream Something Sunday. That's when we talk about streaming series. We do the recaps and reviews and just discussions. Just like we talking now, that's how we talk then. So you are welcome to join us because it's big fun. Clarence is going the other way. He said he thinks it's Willem Dafoe unless they're pulling a huge misdirect. Now, one thing I believe the one that has the classic uh Green Goblin costume, I believe that's Willem Dafoe. I know I'm sounding crazy right now. But the other one, the one in the tattered hoodie, I believe that is another universe's Green Goblin. And that Green Goblin in that universe is Ned. And I got another thing. I believe, and this one, I'm not gonna die on this hill. Okay, so this is one that I can be wrong, and I'll be 100% okay, just 100% okay with being wrong. I believe that it's possible that in with Doc Ock, this version of Doc Ock, in his universe, because we have to stop thinking automatically that he's from the Raimi universe. Was it the Raimi? Yeah, the Raimi universe, just because that's the last place we saw him. There could be a Doc Ock in millions of different universes. I wouldn't think I wouldn't be surprised if this Doc Ock believes that Spider-Man is a bad guy. If this Doc Ock thinks that his battles with Spider-Man in those battles that he is the good guy and Spider-Man is the villain, but we can go on to see if that's right. Reinhardt said, and I ain't shy, so I tweeted. Reinhardt, you out here bringing smoke to people. I ain't shy, so I tweeted them and told them about. I asked, why would you put a spoiler in your thumbnail for the Hawkeye episode? Who did it? Who did it? Reinhardt, tell me so I can beat him up because you mad. You're mad. But I'm serious. I do want to know who it is. Cass says, Marvel has entered the MCU, so I really do not have any concrete notions on what could happen. Yeah, it is definitely, we are in the MCM, like you say, MCM, the multiverse, MCM. um, Davina says she thinks that she saw the same interview. It was the villains panel, and it had Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina, and Willem Dafoe. And I'm telling you, Willem Dafoe looked like he was very uncomfortable. And he said, I'm trying to really hard not to wade into spoilers. So I might be reading more into it. And then Reinhardt, you said yes, they did. I don't know which one, what we talking about there. Fill me in. Clarence says they usually will wait a few days at New Rock Stars. If people get a pre-screening, they should definitely not be spoiling the movie. Right. Because it was okay. Now I know that Eternals was the first time that Eric Voss went to a uh one of the pre-screenings, a premiere actually for Eternals. But I have never, like, I wouldn't have never known that they were able to get pre-screenings and stuff. I don't know why I wouldn't, because of the size of the channel, but I would have never known because they just keep their head down, they do their content, and they scoot on out of there. Whereas other channels just continuously are beating you over the head with spoiler and spoiler adjacent content, and I don't like that. I'm with you, and I trust two channels now as far as not being clickbaity, just trying to get my click, and you're not even talking about nothing. So I trust two channels, and that is New Rock Stars and Screen Crush with Ryan Airy. Those two channels are the only ones. I used to watch a lot of these, and they are all very clickbaity, and they are on here talking real rapidly but not saying shit. So I don't like that, you know. Uh, Claire says Hawkeye was amazing. Yes, it is. It's hard to believe we are down to the last two episodes of that and Wheel of Time, but I'm making this stream something all of a sudden. But yeah, it's hard to believe that we've gotten to the last two episodes, and I really, really have theories about Hawkeye that I need to get out into the ether. My son and I just sat down the other day and we watched it, and then we started like running back. I like, run that back. Did you see this? Did you hear that? Did you? So like when I get a chance to really chop it up with my kid, you know, it's like uh and I might be a little bit high. He don't imbibe. My son don't drink or smoke, or drink, smoke, or take any type of mind altering substances. He's a square. He's kind of more like his daddy. But I'm good. I'm glad for that. But when we put our hands together, we come up with some stuff. Oh, Reinhardt says, I was just going to say, no spoilers, of course, with Hawkeye. I am so glad I have read the comics, because there are probably still things that people miss because there's nothing here that is by accident. Every name that's dropped has a meaning. You can believe that. I can agree. Now, I'm not as I won't say well versed. It's like I know what's coming, but I know stuff. I feel like I know stuff that's coming that's not part of the comics. Like, for instance, I feel like I know whose watch that is, and I feel like I know a little bit more about Clint Barton's wife, and that could, if you're paying attention, it may have been it may have been something that they plucked from a comic book series, but not that same Hawkeye series in the comics. So we'll talk more about it when I feel like I think everybody, I want to say everybody in here has seen it though. But I'm still not gonna spoil it today. I'm not gonna spoil it today. Reinhardt saw that interview also. He said, Godspeed, Spider-Man. Oh gosh. Oh, Cass, you say you don't even watch trailers anymore just to avoid seeing anything. Man, when I got loose lips sometimes. Now I don't think I've dropped no huge dumb spoilers here, but it is really hard. I have to really be thinking, really concentrating, like make sure you don't say what you want to say. Just say what you plan to say. Don't go off the script, because if I go off the script, anything is liable to come out of my mouth. um, Reinhardt said, "Oh yeah, New Rockstars was the ones that did that. I saw the thumbnail and had a picture up of the after credits scene from Eternals. Yes, they did that." D says, "Ooh, Wheel of Time. Yes, Wheel of Time was yes, moving right along with the story." Cass says, "If I get a spoiler here, it's your own fault. No one else's." I try real hard though. But I'm an old lady who I just talk. Oh, your old people talk. Like right now, it's stuff that I want to say that I was like I had already like Davina is one of my oldest friends. Have probably been friends for about well over 30 years, but well over 30 years we've been friends. Because we can't remember when we met. But she knows some secrets that I'm like sitting on, and I can't say anything. So, but uh yeah, sometimes I will get loose lips. Clarence, you all called out. You're all caught up with us. Yay! I was glad. I'm glad to hear that, because now I don't have a problem with talking about it a little bit. I'm not going to spoil nothing today, just in case, because I don't know if Reinhardt has seen this latest episode. But Sunday, it's going down. We are going to talk about Wheel of Time. We are going to discuss like these theories across the board. One of Lysandra's theories came true for episode 5. I knew she was going to be very excited about that. But we are going yeah, we're going to go into this stuff. Reinhardt said, "I don't know if any of you have ever saw that movie A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. I straight up had that movie spoiled by me by a lady I worked with. I'm gonna tell you one even better." And Davina, uh, Davina knows the person I'm talking about, but she wasn't a part of that this situation. When the movie The Sixth Sense came out, now before I want to say when the movie The Sixth Sense came out, I wasn't. I had seen the movie. My sister had not. My sister is a bigger movie person. Like I get caught up in the minutia and all of the moving parts, the directors, I get caught up in that. My sister is a movie person. Like she watches all kinds of movies. She has a wealth of knowledge in her head about actors and actresses. But anywho, she hadn't seen The Sixth Sense yet, so it was like me saying, "Oh, girl, wait till you see it. You are not going to believe." Blah blah blah. Then she goes and talks to her friend Lori, and Lori says to her, "Oh, I saw it too. You wouldn't believe that all those people were dead the whole time." So yes, I understand. That's one of the things that made me say, "Oh shit, I can't fuck with these people if I plan on watching these movies, because they don't have no idea that you are not supposed to tell major plot points." Uh, yeah, you said glad I'm feeling better. I think I am. Yeah, I appreciate it. What was going on? Like, what's going on with me now is I'm off. I'm off. My sleeping pattern is all torn up. It's just reduced to rubble at this point. So like I'll be up now until probably 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll go to sleep. So you get what I'm saying? Like tomorrow, if I'm sitting here looking tired as hell, it's because I probably had just went to sleep about 8 or 9 o'clock that morning tomorrow morning. So yeah, She said, "Oh, Reinhardt said your friend, your coworker wasn't even sorry." And Davina, of course, you got to work on Sundays. Yeah. Cass says, "Well, at least Six Sense has some rewatch value, knowing the spoiler, I guess." Yeah, because now once you watch the movie and you know the spoiler, you can't not see that everybody was dead. You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of know that nobody's talking to him except for the kid. After you pay attention to that after you've watched it. Oh, Cass, we got so much in common. Yes, high five. I don't want to be a vampire. I don't want to be up all night. I want to sleep when everybody else is asleep, so I'll be woke when everybody else is woke instead of laying in the bed all day. And then people think I'm lazy because I'm in the bed all day, but you guys don't know that I've been up all fucking night. You know what I'm saying? Oh gosh. So anyhow, we just took this straight from doggone movie review into some personal conversations that I enjoy, by the way. But I want you to look at this picture again. And you guys just tell me that this looks like some de-aging and some effects done by Marvel seriously. Like they seriously want you to believe that this picture is is the Green Goblin. I just don't I don't get it. It's bad. I mean, of course we know there's Willem Dafoe. And then Cass says, my first reaction to that picture is it makes me think he's going to be a good guy. I mean, I don't even know, like, why the hoodie? Why, when you just had on a complete thing that was showing that was covering your face, why do you have this hoodie on right now? Let me take that's kind of throwing me off. But okay, I'm gonna get over it. Exactly, Clarence. It looks stupid. It doesn't look like it looks like I'm getting one over on you guys because this is just a overlaid over Ned's face. And I need to find, I said I was going to find that and I didn't yet. I'm going to see if I can find Jacob, that picture of Jacob Batalon, unless I was getting catfished. Uh, he had lost a lot of weight. And now when we see him in these trailers, that's a good question too. Why de-age him? He was middle aged when he was middle aged when he was in Spider-Man. Okay, I'm about to show you guys a picture of Ned. Uh, when he lost his weight, and I don't know. Hopefully, you guys are going to be able to see it because I don't have the. I guess I can visit that page. So, Spider-Man star Jacob Batalon shows off weight loss and reveals new look for third movie. This was from last year, right? They did de-age Alfred Molina, but you see how good it looks, right? So why would Willem Dafoe's look so freaking scary? Remember how good Michael Douglas looked? They they did a bad job with that de-aging. But do you guys see the difference here of Ned? Uh of course you can see the difference. I mean, I know that's almost it's almost like being that was almost a question that's kind of condescending. You can definitely see, yes, yes, Clarence. You can see that in this picture, Ned is Ned. Ned is the way that we're seeing him throughout the trailers. In this picture, Ned then turned sexy somehow. And I'm not saying, he's a good looking kid, no matter how you look at it. But in this other picture, this picture right here, he has lost a tremendous amount of weight. And this was from October of 2020. So 1 year. I submit that they filmed uh Jacob Batalon's scenes as the Green Goblin. They filmed those scenes after the weight loss. They either filmed a lot of the scenes before the weight loss uh early, like pretty much by himself, or they have done some kind of computer, CGI to kind of bulk him back up because he's lost weight. But then we saw him, wait a minute. We saw him on these panels and he looks a little fluffy again. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Clarence said, wow, you might be right. I had no idea. And Kaz says, filming before and after scenes with Ned would be a great twist. I'm kind of confused now though. I'm talking myself out of my own theory about Ned because when we see him on panels now, he's big. Yeah, he's the hobgoblin. Yeah. Yeah, Clarence. Um so I don't know. I might be talking myself out of my own theory. I'm thinking myself out of it. But that to me, to me, when he lost all that weight, and this was before we knew what was going on with Spider-Man No Way Home and all of the things that are implied that we think we know. It made me think when I first saw him, I was like, oh, he's going to go rogue. He's going to turn into the hobgoblin. But then everything that we've seen has shown him still being buddy buddy, unless Jacob from I mean not Jacob. I keep getting their screen name and their real name mixed up. Unless Ned from an alternate universe was a hobgoblin. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Now, Kaya says the only issue I have with Ned is that performance wise, I have not seen much from the actor that makes me want it. And that's what another part. I guess I could say that we seem real. We wonder if it's going to turn out to be real fan servicey. Have a reason. Have a reason for these things to be happening. Have a reason for and even if the multiverse is the reason, that's a better reason than a lot of people have for the things that they do in movies. I don't want just everything in the kitchen sink thrown in here because we can. I really want it to have some meaning. And we know that at some point in this movie, we will see Venom. It's not been a whole lot of conversation about Venom, but there is a point in this movie that we have to see him. Why would they put him in the post-credit scene of Let There Be Carnage? Why would they do that if they weren't going to include him in this movie? You say he's serviceable as the best friend, just not sure you can see him as villainous. I think, in a situation like that, we're going to make you earn your money because now you're an actor and your job is to lie to me, but make me believe it, right? So if you want to call yourself an actor, then you should be able to play these parts, especially if you don't want to get pigeonholed into this kind of part, because I don't know what else Jacob Batalon has been in. Uh, and he's doing a fantastic job. I'm going to look at his filmography real quick. He's doing a fantastic job in Spider-Man No Way Home, being the guy in the chair. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's. I'm with you. I don't know if he's got the chops, but I really hope that he does. Let's look at his IMDb. I need to see what else he he has done. Okay, I'm gonna come to that, Clarence. Uh, gosh, are you real? Are you serious? It's saying known for Spider-Man: Homecoming, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame. Okay, he's played in Reginald the Vampire. That's filming. Okay. Zaya is in post production. He's playing in that. 50 States of Fright. I didn't see that. Day by Day, Bubble Gang, Let It Snow, The True Don Quixote. So there's like a lot of nothing. The big things that he's done. Um yeah, the big things that he's done is like it's the stuff that we know is from it's from I want to know if what his range is. You have to show me, Jacob Batalone. Now, Claire said if they somehow made him lose his memory that Peter is Spider-Man, he may have some vendetta against him. So we could say that his vendetta is from alternate universe. I think the Ned that's hanging out with MJ and Peter, I think that's our Ned. But I think the big reveal is going to be when he sees this hobgoblin, this not hobgoblin, this goblin with this hoodie on, when he sees him without the mask and finds out that it's his friend, because we can have multiple of all of these villains. If we can have multiple Spider-Man, we can have multiple villains as well. And I think we might be going to see two goblins, the hobgoblin, the green goblin. And then Kaz is saying the same thing I said. Don't have a lot on his IMDb that's not related to Spider-Man. Uh, and Kaz said we both instantly went to his IMDb. Yes, that is like a Bible. And also Kaz says, I truly hope he can prove me wrong. Me too. Me too. Because we got to have some things for these people to do after when once everything hits back to Sony, because we know that's where this is going. Um, I don't want to lose both of them, MJ and Ned. Did anybody else before we cut out of here? Because I know nobody probably planned to be here this long, not even me. But did anybody else watch the Spider-Man Across the Multiverse or Across the Spider-Verse trailer? I did a trailer reaction to it, but did you guys see the trailer? If you did, then just sound off in the chat. But I've got even a theory about that. And the theory, if you didn't watch my reaction, the theory that I had about that was that we're going to see the Tom Holland Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales Spider-Verse. Now we saw the Gwen Stacy back. We saw Miles Morales back, looking a little bit more mature. Gwen Stacy's hair, the haircut that he gave her has grown out a bit, and we saw Spider-Man 2099, and it's saying basically that this thing is it's taking you across the Spider-Verse. So first, everything came into the Spider-Verse, and now we're going across the Spider-Verse, which would make me say that I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that we will see Tom Holland's Spider-Man show up in either part one or part two. I don't know. Because they've already now announced that it's two parts to this movie. And yeah, it's just like you're going across the Spider-Verse. Why wouldn't Tom Holland Spider-Man be there? Yes, Cass. Into the Spider-Verse was one of the most unexpectedly excellent movies I've ever seen. I second that emotion. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's why I'm so excited for the second one. And then the voice cast in the first one was just so I guess phenomenal. And we're getting into even more. I don't know if we'll see Kingpin again. I don't know if we'll see Dr. Ock, Doc Ock, the female Doc Ock. Uh, and that was voiced by Catherine Hahn, and I didn't even realize that until when I was watching WandaVision. So yeah, it was just a lot. Let's see. Claire said that would be awesome, and then if they keep continuity, it will be great to see Miles and Gwen cross over to live action for a movie. I feel the same way. I feel like that's what all of this is doing. Because one of the things that Kevin Feige said is Spider-Man is the only character who can go to all the universes. And at first I'm thinking, okay, we only got Sony, Fox, and the MCU. What are you talking about? But if he's talking about this animation thing too, that makes sense. Also, that cast, Ned, MJ, Peter, Tom, Jacob, and Zendaya were all asked, hey, would you guys consider going to the animated side of things? And they was like, oh yeah, I love those movies, which tells me that they hate those movies because there was only one movie. There's no S. So, but they were like, yeah, somebody talked to us about it, but we haven't heard anything else. And I feel like they're going to be in, at least Tom Holland is going to be in that movie, if not all three of them. But anyhow, does anybody got anything else before I break camp, go eat, cook dinner? So I'm going to go in here and eat while the eating is good. I can't wait. Well, tomorrow we do the weekly wrap up. I hope that everybody joins me tomorrow for that. Kaz, it has been absolutely wonderful chatting with you. So hopefully you'll come back and join us whenever you like. So tomorrow is the weekly wrap up. You're gonna watch some Expanse. I might need to give that show another chance. I didn't give it a opportunity. I think I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, okay, I've had enough. So I keep hearing about how fantastic it is. I have to give it a chance. Yeah, thanks, Kaz. And yeah, so come back for the weekly wrap up. We do Sunday, we do Stream Something Sunday. Mondays, we'll be doing more than a movie Mondays. And I will get to DMX this week. I ran into problems with everything last week, but I feel better. Clarence, you're warning me that the first season is a slow burn. I have to have patience. And I keep hearing about how good that show is, so I'm gonna give it a chance. But yeah, I don't have anything else. Hopefully, everybody will join me tomorrow. It's been fun. Watch Encounter if you get an opportunity. Give it a chance. Let me know what you think of it. If you would give it 3 stars as well. And yeah, it's been fun. I said that, didn't I? See you guys tomorrow. Peace.